Hello and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and I'm here to do a reading today for all Aquarians. Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. If you don't know where those placements are in your charts, then I will put a link for a free astro natal chart down below. You can go ahead and check it out, find out for yourselves. Also, because this is a general reading, it will not resonate with everybody out there, not all you Aquarians, but hopefully it will resonate on some level with some of you. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then you can always go and look up the other signs which you will find in your astrological chart, which is why I'm going to put a free link down below so that you can then go and look up your moon, your Venus and your rising sign if you know the the time of your birth. So I'd like to start your reading today with a little bit of astrology, because there's a lot going on out there at the moment with the planets doing certain things. We've just had a conjunction with the Sun and Mercury, which took place in Scorpio, while Scorpio has Mercury going retrograde at the same time. So that's a lot of energy in itself. And then the following day, because all that took place on the 11th, but on the following day, on the 12th, we also had a full moon in Taurus opposite the Sun and Mercury. So that again brings in extra intense energy. So for you Aquarius out there, all of this Scorpio stuff that's taking place at the moment, which is Mercury diving down into the underworld to kind of delve through all the secrets and all the kind of hidden stuff, the subconscious realm, the kind of hidden, unknown wounds and kind of our more secretive sides of ourselves, even to the point that it could be things that, you know, we ourselves have forgotten that we've experienced. But during this phase, while Mercury is retrograde, which is lasting right up until the 10th of December, although Mercury will go direct on the 11th of sorry, not the 11th, the 19th, 20th of November at 11 degrees, it turns direct. It won't actually come out of its own shadow until the 10th of December. So we've still got quite a long way to go before Mercury finishes going retrograde in all. So for you Aquarians, it's all taking place in your 10th house, which is the house of Capricorn, which interestingly enough has got Saturn and Pluto sitting there at this moment in time, and has been making great connections over to this full moon, which just took place, giving it a real boost, giving the full moon a real kind, because they're both earth signs. Taurus and Capricorn are both earth signs, so they kind of connect and kind of are comfortable together. They help each other. All the signs that are in trine are very supportive of each other. So the Pluto and Saturn in your 10th house of Capricorn is kind of, on some level, the whole Scorpio Mercury retrograde thing for you is going to be about breaking free of restrictions, structure, governments and laws. And as an Aquarian, you probably don't like any of that stuff anyway, ruled by Uranus as you are, the planet of change and innovation and communities, friendships, that kind of thing. You like to move on from something quite quickly, and Uranus has that ability. And Uranus also is in Taurus, where the full moon has just happened as well. So again, we've got another energy that has been putting its mark on everything that's happening at the moment. So you may have found that you've really wanted change, but it's been kind of restricted as well with that Saturn-Pluto element happening. So that's all taking place in your 10th house, which is, for you, the Scorpio house is the 10th house, as I said, ruled by Capricorn. And the Taurus full moon has just taken place in your 2nd house. And the 2nd house is all about, for you, it's Pisces. It's ruled by Pisces, the 2nd house. And Pisces is all about your dreams, your not so much your desires, but it's dreams and illusions and the bigger picture on some level. It's our hopes and our it's a subconscious psychic realm, and it kind of kicks in a bit with the Scorpio thing as well. At the moment there's Neptune in Pisces, and it is retrograde in Pisces as well at the moment. So that has also been making aspects over to everything that's happening in Scorpio as well, because again, they're both water signs, so they're trining each other as well. So there has been these kind of flowing energies happening between earth and water. But the 2nd house with Uranus there is also about values. It's your wants, it's your possessions, it's your earthly environment and your physical body and your health and the way that you take care of yourself. And the Neptune kind of going retrograde is kind of saying that there's a need here to surrender and let go, and surrender and let go. This is the thing about Pisces, it kind of just keeps kicking in with that surrender and let go. And you may find that sometimes you feel as though you've kind of got nothing left to let go of, because you've kind of let go of everything as much as you can. But it is a kind of finding this kind of tranquil state of being, in the sense that sometimes we have to step out of the way of ourselves and allow something bigger to kind of take over. And just looking at your cards today, Aquarius, I would say that that is so well reflected within your reading, which I find very, very interesting. I'm going to start this reading itself off with the Namaste Blessing cards, which are done by Tony Carmine Salerno, and they are very beautiful blessing cards, which 2 came out today, which is quite interesting for me. As soon as they came out, I thought, oh wow, they're very, very similar. And when I put them together, it was like almost like they flowed into kind of the same thing, almost like they wanted to be connected on some level. Like you can see, if you look at the 2 together, it's almost like there is this real connection between the 2 of them. And so the reading on the actual card as well was very interesting for me, because the first one is the blessed treasure within, and the second one is the blessing of omnipresence. But when I read them, it was almost like they just flowed from one to the other, like there was no difference. There was no, like, you could almost say that you know, they were just the same energy. I think that's what's kind of coming out here. There's this kind of feeling of connection, a deeper connection, a connection on a much deeper level with something bigger than yourself, Aquarius. So the treasure within says, the qualities you admire in others you also possess. There is a treasure within you. This card is here to help you reconnect with the well of wisdom, creativity and beauty inside you. It is time to shine your light. Breathe in light and breathe out any unwanted thoughts. Dwelling on what has been or might have been serves no purpose. Feel the healing, omnipresent light that surrounds and fills you. Focus on the present, for it is blessed with infinite potential. And that's the blessing of omnipresence. But they're just, two of them just seem to just completely flow together for me today. Don't know if you want to snapshot them at all, so that you could have a look at them later and read them. But the way that the two cards, I just find that very, very interesting. They're almost like the same card connecting there. Okay, so the rest of the reading is going to be done with the Greek Mythic Tarot by Juliet Sherman Burke and Liz Green, and they created this together. And the first card that came out, I'm going to pick these two cards out together actually, because this is the heart of the reading. So this is the heart of the reading, and normally if I'm doing a Celtic cross, I would put this card over the top. Now I haven't, in most of the kind of zodiac readings that I've been doing for each sign, I haven't actually been putting a challenging card over the top. But today, just without even thinking about it, I did it. Maybe because I'm so used to doing it, but I think that there is an actual purpose behind that happening. Because this card here, the Ten of Wands, is saying to me that there has been this kind of struggle to move beyond something. It's like you're fed up of being stuck in the same place. And I think this is kind of what I was saying earlier about your the Scorpio in the 10th house. It's like you feel restricted, you feel held back, you feel as though you can't get to where you want to get to. And this card is saying exactly the same thing. And this is the 9, so this comes after the 10. Sorry, before the 10. Before the 10. But it comes after in this particular reading. So it's almost like a step backwards, if you like. And it literally, for me, it always represents that kind of 3 steps forward, 2 steps backwards. So you never feel as though you're really getting very far at all in a situation. And the boat for me always represents life. And you can see the boat here, this boat that is battered and torn, and it's been through storms and stormy weather, emotional situations. These always represent emotional situations to me, the stormy kind of feelings that we have within our emotions, within our love life, within our relationships, that kind of drag us back and keep us in places that we don't necessarily want to be, when all we want to really do is just kind of move on from something that has got us stuck in this kind of feeling that nothing's ever going to go any further than this, nothing's going to move beyond this, you're going to be stuck in this place forever. Also because this boat is now kind of so ruined. I mean, it could be built, rebuilt, and it could be repaired, but he doesn't even have the kind of will to do that either. It's almost like he's just kind of given up, just fed up and given up. So those are the two cards that came out together. Like I said, I haven't been pulling a crossing challenging card, so I find that quite interesting. But I do think that it does relate to the situation with Scorpio at the moment, of like feeling in the 10th house that you, because of Saturn and Pluto being there, that you can't move forward, but you do have ideas, because the Fool above you is saying that there is a new beginning. It's almost like you're aware, very, very aware, Aquarius, that there is this new beginning waiting to happen for you. But at this moment in time, you're being held back. You're not being allowed to take that leap of faith. Something is stopping you. Something is keeping you. And it could be because you're having to deal with past events at the moment, and until you kind of clear things up, you can't take that leap. That could be the reason why, that you're not being allowed to do that, because there is this really strong urge in your head, what you're aware of is that you want to just do this. But at the moment, this is where you're finding yourself. And I think that is a very kind of, you know, retrograde Mercury in Scorpio kind of scenario for you Aquarians. This is how it's kind of playing out for you. It's playing out differently for everybody because Scorpio is in a different house for everybody. So relating to whatever it is that that house represents is how it's going to play out for each of the signs. And this is how it's playing out for you at the moment. Although this isn't just a Mercury retrograde reading, I did do a reading the other day, which you can find on my channel, 1111 portal conjunct the Sun, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio and full moon in Taurus, which I kind of did as one video because it's all the kind of same energy to me because it was so close together. So that video is out there and you might want to go and have a look at that, Aquarius, just to kind of give you a little bit more insight. It was a collective reading, so it's kind of what's happening for everybody, where the planets are for everybody, in the sense of everybody has the planets doing the same thing at the moment. It's just that they take place in different houses, which is what I'm trying to explain more within my tarot reading here. So underneath all of this, what's at the root cause and what you're maybe not quite so consciously aware of is the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is a situation of somebody offering something. Somebody's come in and they're offering, they're making you an offering. She's offering this individual here a way out, something that he doesn't really know whether he should take it or not. And again, the energies are not to do with man and woman, masculine and feminine, so much as they are the cards. It can be either way round. It doesn't have to be a man, it doesn't have to be a woman, it can be reversed, vice versa. Again, it's just the energies, it's just how it's portrayed in the story line. So he is kind of suspicious of what it is that she is offering. He doesn't know whether he should take it up, whether it's something that's kind of divinely inspired and is going to kind of take him down a broader path, because it's Pentacles. It's to do with kind of work related issues, physical, very much of the physical realm, environmental, can be to do with home, in the sense of, you know, we put a lot of our time and our work and our energy into our homes, and so there's a lot of things that the physical realm and the kind of pentacles themselves can cover in that respect. It could be business related, it can also be relationship related, because we can, or we do have to work on our relationships. Relationships are not just something that just kind of happen. There has to be work put into them, and there has to be kind of some understanding behind that as well. But in this card, he's not sure whether it's going to take him down a path of like red herrings and like leading to nowhere, like a dead end kind of offer. If he takes it up, is he going to be in more trouble by doing so? Will he get himself into hot water? Or, like I said, is it something that's kind of, on some level, he's looking at it as well as if it's a distraction from what he thought he was going to be doing, from the path that he thought he was going to be taking. And that could have something to do with this here as well, because this ball is being restricted from leaping at the moment, even though it's up the right way and it's in your head, it's what you're aware of, and you know that this is coming, you know that you've got to do this, or you maybe already have done this, but there's something else behind this, which is you kind of saying, was that the right thing? Did I take the right? Did I make the right choice? Although I do feel on some level that there is still a lot of restriction around this, that it hasn't, almost like you're in mid-leap. Almost like you kind of leapt, but now it's like you're being questioned. It's kind of, you're kind of thinking, oh my goodness, you know, I've leapt, but now something else has come in. And there has been a lot of emotional feeling around this as well. This is what's moving away. So this has kind of really made you look on a deeper emotional level at what's taking place here. The Queen of Cups always sits in her emotions. She's always completely immersed in her emotions, which sometimes works for her advantage and sometimes it doesn't. But this is what's moving away. And there has been this time of feeling really very emotionally, maybe emotionally attached to something that you're now having to let go of. With this 10 here and this kind of 9 here, there may have been this feeling of I don't want to move on from this, or there may be feelings that you do want to move on from this, but you're not being able to move on from it because you're being held back and emotionally kind of kept in the same place. It's going to be different for all Aquarians out there. It's not going to be the same kind of scenario, but at the same time, these are the energies that are going to be in play here. So for some of you, it will be a feeling that you're emotionally attached to something you don't want to leave. And for others, it's going to be, I'm trying to leave this. I have been emotionally attached to this, but now I want to move on. And again, with the Scorpio kind of energy, in the sense that Cups is your Pisces, Scorpios and Cancerian energy. It could just be that you're feeling very emotionally charged at the moment with this Mercury diving down in Scorpio, sort of bringing up a lot of past issues, because here she is kind of reflecting in her cup as well, her cup of love, and kind of looking into it with a kind of, maybe a kind of longing as well, or wishing that things maybe could be different. And what you have moving in, the energy that's coming into play for you Aquarius, is this challenge. This Four of Wands is a challenge. It's saying, like, this is like a new challenge that's coming in, and the boat is here and it's ready, and you know, and it's again, you know, with this kind of full leaping. Whoops, dropping the cards, that's not going to do. With this full leaping towards this challenge, but at on some level, kind of, I feel halfway. I just get this feeling of kind of, and that could have something to do with the fact that this has come out as well, and it is reversed. But I'll get to that card in a bit. But I do get the feeling that there is this restriction and this kind of like, you know, I leapt and now I'm just hanging in limbo kind of thing. But this is the energy that's coming in, and it's going to be a kind of collaborative thing as well, I feel, on some level. It's like, you know, you're going to have lots of support in this. It's not something that you're going to be doing on your own, which maybe is also why you're feeling like this at the moment, Aquarius. Maybe you feel that there isn't any support around you and that you have been kind of left to just deal with the aftermath, shall we say, of a situation that maybe wasn't just your of your own making. So as this, yeah, the Four of Wands being creative wands, there is kind of going to be this new challenge that is going to come in. It is going to happen. It's just a case of waiting at the moment and making the right choice as well. Making this right choice. And so while I was shuffling these cards for you, 4 separate cards fell out along. I've got a kind of bunch of them that fell out together. So I used the cards around the outside first, and then these other 4 came out separately, and I've put them down on the other side of the cards, if you know what I mean. So for instance, with the Fool up here in your head and what you're aware of, you've got above the Fool, or maybe even connecting the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Wands together, you have the Magician. So the Magician is saying that you do have this ability to manifest this. You can make it happen. At the moment you're feeling like this. Maybe even put it the other way around. At the moment, you can see all of them. At the moment you're feeling like that, like the 10 of Wands, stuck in a place you don't want to be. And the Fool is saying that you can take that leap, or you know that you've got to take that leap, or you have started to take that leap. It's like, you know, you have kind of thrown yourself off. You don't know where you're going to land. This is all about trusting in yourself, trusting in something bigger that will take care of you. It's the beginning of a journey, which is kind of represented by this card here as well, the 4 of Wands, the kind of beginning of the challenge. It's like you take up the challenge, or you take the leap, if you like, and then the kind of challenge comes in, because this is kind of saying that you've got to leap before you know what you're leaping into. And that's the challenge with the Fool, really, is this kind of need to trust something, trust yourself, trust something bigger that has your best at heart. It knows what it's going to do. It knows where you need to be, even if you don't. Which is kind of, for me, the 9 of Wands card as well. I always get the feeling that somehow this boat, you need to kind of let go of control of this, and it will get you through the rocks into this kind of calmer, serener water here, which is where you want to be, with all these kind of wands showing you the way home. This is home. This is where you want to be. But at the moment you don't maybe not know actually, there may not be a place as such that you have that fixed in your mind. If you know what I'm trying to say, is that at the moment it may all kind of be a bit vague and all a bit kind of like there's nothing solid. And maybe that's got something to do also with Neptune being in your 2nd house. Is maybe that you need to, it could have something to do with a actual home, a place that you're moving to, but you don't know where it is that you're actually going to, but you know that you are going to be moving on somewhere. But at the moment it's all a bit kind of vague and kind of in the air, and still being manifested, shall we say. There is this kind of still manifesting this particular scenario. So that's what I'm picking up on here. It could just be, it could be moving to another country. It could just be moving home to somewhere else, but you don't know where that somewhere else is. And with the 7 of Pentacles kind of coming in as well, it could kind of feel as though you thought you knew what you were doing. You thought you knew where you were going, but something else has kind of come in and changed the lay of the land, shall we say. The manifestation process. So that's what we've got going on above. Okay. So this, as I was saying, the Four of Wands is the card that's coming in as your challenge. And what came out with the Four of Wands, which is a total Piscean card, is the Hanged Man. And usually the Hanged Man is hanging up this way, so it would be upright this way. But it came out upside down, it came out reversed. So for me, it's kind of saying that because it's about hanging in limbo and making sacrifices, and it is very Neptunian in that sense of sacrifice and letting go, allowing something bigger to take over. I almost get the feeling that there is this kind of reluctance that you want to have control, that you want to be fully in control. And sometimes we just have to kind of hold back a little bit. We ourselves have to kind of just give over to something bigger. And that's really the lesson of Pisces, is like trusting something bigger that is within ourselves and without of ourselves. And I think what this is trying to say is that the timing is not ready yet. So as much as you want to push forward with this, as much as you want to make it happen, at the moment you've got to let it go, in the sense that you can't do anything about it. You can't make it happen any quicker than you want it to. And often with sacrifice as well, we tend to we don't want to sacrifice what we create, or what we desire, what we truly desire. There is this kind of unwillingness, and within that unwillingness we can create more problems for ourselves, because we won't allow something to manifest in a natural kind of way. We want to be in charge, and I think that's kind of what this is saying, is that it's going to happen, but don't try and make it happen before it's ready. Don't try and force the issue. Nine of Wands here is kind of forcing an issue as well. It's kind of struggle and burdens and kind of feeling that you've got to get there. You've got to make it happen. Instead of saying, oh, hang about, maybe there's a reason that this is happening at the moment. Maybe there is a good cause for me to hold back and just hang there for a bit in limbo, having made that leap, and now you're having to kind of hang. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. That's the energies that I'm picking up on, and what the cards are saying for me is that because this is reversed, there's this kind of really strong, it was reversed. There's this really strong feeling of like not wanting to trust and allow things to unfold in the right time. And one of the reasons that I'm saying that as well is because underneath this particular card we have the Devil reversed, upside down, dancing devil. The devil playing his pipes and calling the tune. If it was up this way, I would say that this is to do with kind of coming to terms with your fears and like moving beyond the things that hold you back and kind of restrict you. And because if you look carefully, he's holding these two human people down here, but the collars around their necks, they can quite easily slip out of them, but they choose on some level to stay attached to their fears. It's their fear that holds them there. And this is really what the Devil card is about. It's about our fear. Our fears of other people's views of us, our fears of what society might think of us if we do something different, if we try and dance to a different tune. So there is an element of fear attached to this decision that needs to be made, or has been made. There's now this kind of fear of whether there's going to be some kind of comeback from this. Was it the right decision when you took that leap? And now really all you can do is wait, even though you don't want to, even though you want to force something to happen. With the upside down hangman. The Devil says to me that there is this need to there is this need to question your own beliefs in this, your own, maybe the part that you yourself may be restricting yourself here by not accepting something that could lead to something better because of the work that you've already put into something else. And because maybe of the fact that you've already taken that leap, you're not sure whether or not. But this is also kind of saying trust your gut as well in some way. You know, the Fool is also saying trust your gut and trust your instinct. And don't let other people tell you that you're wrong and that you don't know what you're doing. Very Scorpio energy. Very Mercury and Scorpio energy, this kind of, almost like the Fool is delving down into his instinctual feelings and his kind of fears, and he's looking at the things that are holding him back and restricting him. Like he's taken that leap, and this is where he's kind of landed at the moment. He's in this kind of dark, I wouldn't say scary or like fearful place as such, but I would say more kind of what's the words I'm looking for here? This dark this kind of unknown terrain, this kind of shadow, his own shadow side is being kind of brought up to the forefront, and he's having to kind of look at that shadow side and maybe doesn't particularly want to go there. So with this energy in play at the moment, we also have what's moving out, the Queen of Cups, all those emotions with down in Scorpio, which could have something to do with this as well. It has been really emotional, and the emotional realm has maybe brought up some of these fears and some of these kind of self-doubts and having to kind of take other people's opinions into account and maybe feeling that it was the wrong thing to do. But the card that came out along with the Queen of Cups here is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is saying that there is this situation where two people are connecting. And if I go back to the very beginning of what I got come out here with these two trees, this is kind of what I felt very strongly, that there is this kind of really strong connection between these two trees. That they are really kind of like, they're almost like they're holding each other's branches and their leaves. It's just, they're just kind of matched together so well. And I think that that's what this is saying here. And maybe this is the reason why you're having to rethink something. Because this has happened already. It's almost like somebody has come in and you've just gone, whoa, that was unexpected. That's made me stop and rethink my plans. And as I'm saying this, I am getting a real buzz. A real buzz. So for whoever this is for out there, this is an incredible connection. Like, really, really incredible connection. Really powerful. Really like, just like, oh, I think I've known you before. That type of connection. That kind of instant recognition. Somebody who's there, who's going to support you so strongly. It's almost like they just, like, you know, you just know each other so well. Even though it's only just kind of occurred. There's just this real kind of feeling that this has got to be. And that could well be what has kind of put all this in play, and this kind of feelings of, oh my goodness, I thought I knew exactly where I was going and what I was doing, but now I'm being asked to take a leap in a different direction, and I don't know if I can trust it. Because I've kind of already leapt a different way. And now it could be somebody who is, you know, Aquarius, some Aquarians out there who have been, and male or female, makes no difference. Somebody who's very, very emotionally caught up, but is also fearful of what's coming out, what it's bringing up for them, the storyline behind it. And it could really have a past life connection here. It's so powerful, so strong, but I just get such a lovely feeling from it. Just this real buzz. So I'd like to finish this reading with these two cards that came out together. And this is, these are the Ask and It Is Given cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And the entity known as Abraham Hicks, who is channeled through Esther. If you don't know who Abraham is, I suggest you go and look him up online, because there is a lot of stuff out there. But I'd like to finish this purely because I think it's interesting that people have some kind of awareness of what they're manifesting, how they're manifesting it, and why they're manifesting it. So the cards, two cards came out for you, again Aquarius, which is interesting because everything seems to be about twos at the moment for you. And the first card we got is, but whose truth is the true truth? Which is very interesting as well with this devil card down here, because it is almost like, you know, what is true in our society and what is true within what we ourselves believe. And can we kind of, you know, remove ourselves from these age-old chains, if you like, of how things have always been. And this is kind of another storyline that's in play as well for everybody at the moment as we move towards 2020 and the conjunction that's going to be happening with Pluto and Saturn. in early January, but that's a different story, and I will do more videos on that in the future. But with enough attention to anything, the essence of what you have been giving thought to will eventually become a physical manifestation. And then, as others give attention to it, they help it expand. In time, this manifestation, whether wanted or not, is called truth. Deliberate creation is about deliberately choosing those experiences you make your truths. And I just get a feeling that this could have something to do with this card here, Aquarius. And this is followed up by, behind my every desire is my desire to feel good. There is no desire that anyone holds for any other reason than that they believe they will feel better in the achievement of it. Whether it is a material object, a physical state of being, a relationship, a condition, or a circumstance, as the heart of every desire is the desire to feel good. And that's what I get when I was talking about this particular connection here, is the feeling good. It just feels really good, like there's just this amazing buzz. And it may be that this person is coming into your life to help you understand all about this on a deeper level for yourself, and that the two of you can kind of grow and expand through that connection. But it just feels really, really positive. So that, Aquarius, is what I have for you today. I would just like to thank anybody who has subscribed to my channel, anybody who has come back to watch my videos. Thank you very much for returning. For anybody who's new to my channel, please could you like my videos, subscribe so you can get future videos, and maybe tap the bell as well, because then you'll know when all the videos are being put out. Also, I managed to put my PayPal link on my channel. So if anybody would like to make a donation to my channel, that would be greatly received. But also my email, if you would like a private or personal reading, because this is just a general and it's not going to resonate with everybody. But also if it does resonate with you, you might want to find out more on a personal level as well. My email will be in the description box down below. It is also in the about section on my channel as well. And the PayPal link, you will be able to pay directly through that if you have a private reading too. So once again, I would say thank you very much, Aquarius, for listening. If you think that this will help any other Aquarians that you know, then please share it and put the message out there as much as possible. I'm trying to grow and expand my channel, so please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you back again sometime soon. Take care, Aquarius. Thank you. Bye-bye.